Hello, Devgit. I read your book, Osho, the First Buddha in the Dental Chair, Amusing Anecdotes by His Personal Dentist. It's rare to find a first-hand account of what it's like to be with an enlightened master. Can you tell a little bit about yourself and how that book came to be written?
I first came to Osho in 1976. I was a dentist in England, family, wife, profession, the whole thing. But my life was empty. I was in a complete confusion. I had everything that I thought I wanted, but my life felt empty, and I started searching. And that search took me in many places, but finally it brought me to Osho. Finally, I met a person dressed in red clothes. He even had a red nose. My first sannyasi, his name was Swami Anand Sanghi. I met him in Cornwall, and he introduced me to Osho. From that moment, my life changed. But when I went to Pune, which was very soon after that, I went to meet the man who was to change my life completely. I flew to Pune, I met Osho. In that first moment of meeting him, I can't explain what happened, but that explosion that happened then is still exploding. And this work that is based on what Osho has brought into my life is what I'm going to be talking about today. He asked me to write a book. He asked me to write 2 books. But this one that we're talking about today is called Amusing Anecdotes by His Personal Dentist. Osho, the first Buddha in the dentist chair. Buddha is a difficult word for people to understand because they associate it with a man, Gautama Buddha. But Osho made it really clear. Buddha is a state of consciousness, and Buddha is the consciousness that Osho was living in ever since he became enlightened. So he became an enlightened person when he was 21. He became an enlightened master in the years that followed. An enlightened master is somebody who can pass on the flame, the transmission of the Buddha consciousness to the people who are open to receive it. I knew nothing about that. But when he asked me to write the book, at that point, I knew that there would be something in there that I didn't understand yet, but I would come to understand later, and that's the case.
And what was the Akashic Transmission?
Just before he left his body, in 1989, which was about 6-8 weeks before he left his physical body, Osho was suffering very badly with pain. Pain in his face, pain in his ears, pain in his left shoulder. He had become mysteriously ill after being put in prison in America. And that pain had become increasingly severe in the years that followed. We call that time Pune 2. He came back to Pune, his original ashram in Pune, in 1987. It was at the end of 1988 that his pain became so severe it was interfering very much with his life. His medical team, I was part of his medical team, we took care of him practically on a daily basis. The pain got worse, and in the end of 1989, I was looking after him because he had terrible pain in his jaw. At first we thought it was his ear. But then we took out a wisdom tooth and it would not heal, and he had such pain that he couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. It was difficult for him to drink. You would never know because he never showed any pain or stress, but if you asked him, he would say the pain is very terrible. Now one night, I had been in contact with specialists around the world, and I was trying to find out what was happening. Was it a dental problem or was it something else? And then I'd been up all night writing a fax to some specialist in Los Angeles. And about 4 o'clock in the morning, there was a knock on my door. Osho wants a dental session, which was not unusual. He often had dental sessions in the middle of the night. But this particular time, as I rushed into the dental room to switch on the air conditioning, which he needed to help his breathing because he had asthma, in that pitch darkness, he was standing there. And he gave me a message. He said that everybody's teeth contain personal memories reaching back to the beginning of evolution. He didn't begin exactly like that. What he said was, because of the terrible pain in my teeth, because of the terrible pain in my face, I've gone into my teeth, and I've discovered that teeth contain memories. I discovered that those memories are starting now. They go right back to the beginning of evolution. It's a continuing process. And he said, this is of supreme importance for a meditator. He said, I don't think that it has ever been discovered before that the memories are held in the teeth, not just this lifetime, but all the lifetimes right back to the beginning of evolution, even before monkeys became men. And he said, you will find a way, Devaki, for people to release those memories out of their body into their consciousness. And he said, this is of supreme importance. He said, because, first of all, as you release the memories from the teeth and your body becomes healthy. Most disease is because there are memories locked inside your body which are completely unconscious, but they have an effect. Second is that by releasing those memories, ancient memories, back to the beginning of evolution, everybody's teeth contain their personal Akashic record of the evolution of their consciousness. He said, by accessing those memories, and you will find a way, Devaki, he said, they will be able then to meditate to the depth where authentic transformation can happen. Now, when he told me that, I could hear what he was saying, but I didn't understand how to do it or what he was asking me to bring into my life. Because dentistry as such has nothing to do with memories. It doesn't even have very much to do with healing. But in fact, as he left his body 6-8 weeks later, which was a shock, nobody knew that he was going to leave his body, although the evidence was fairly clear. He was looking more and more frail. But on January the 19th, 1990, he left his physical body. For a few weeks I was in a state of confusion. I didn't really know what was happening in my life, because my whole life had been Osho for those last 12 years. But then, as I recalled his Akashic Transmission, everything began to fall into place. I found ways which would allow me to remember my own Akashic memories from my teeth. And when I first found that, which took a few months, but when I found that, I didn't know that it would be applicable to other people. But I began to use it first on myself, and then I did it on a friend, and I showed her how to do it so she could do it back on me. And then I slowly developed this method that I now call the Akashic Processes. And there are 7 Akashic Processes, and each one accesses a different level of unconscious. The personal unconscious is the first. The second is the collective unconscious, which is the animal memories. It's one thing to have past life memories of you as a human being, but it's quite different to have past life memories of you as an elephant or an alligator or even an ant. And as you go through the collective unconscious, you then enter into the cosmic unconscious, where your body contains memories before this earth was part of evolution. And all of that, the whole evolutionary process, can be accessed through the memories in your teeth and your body. That's the Akashic Processes.